Alright Guardians, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe because we do this every single Tuesday and Wednesday, as long as I can get them done with all three classes, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. This is our Warlock variant. If you're looking for a Hunter or Titan guide, look in the description box down below. I'll have those both linked for you. This week's strike, as you can see, is Savathun's song. As far as setup goes, of course we rock Better Devils. I'd also suggest a auto rifle for the final bit of the boss fight. I didn't have a good one because I was also using Polaris Lance, so Antiope D worked alright, but I would prefer an auto rifle. Of course, Mananan, if you have one of each burn, Arc, Solar, and Void, use that, because if you switch between the same weapon but just different burns, like this, Solar to Arc, you won't lose any power ammo. We're also rocking Polaris Lance for the boss fight because it actually does pretty good damage against it. And then we start off with Telesto, and then about 2/3 of the way through we switch over to Curtain Call. We're rocking Ophidian Aspect just because I like the reload. And then as far as attunement goes, of course we're going for Attunement of Hunger. For Devour, kills with its melee ability fully regenerates your health for a short time afterward. Kills restore additional health. Feed the Void, consume your grenade. You just hold down your grenade button and you'll get this effect, the Devour effect. It's really awesome. While the Devour effect is active, killing enemies extends its duration and recharges your grenade. It's very awesome. This is pretty much the go-to, everybody's go-to PvE thing for now. We start off with healing, and then we switch over to empowering at the last second, and also Vortex Grenade until we get to the boss, and we switch over to Scatter Grenades because it does the most damage out of the 3 grenades. So other than that, let's go ahead and rock this guide. Alright, so once you get here, go ahead and just kill these 2 elite acolytes. Pick up their power ammo and the orb if you're rocking Masterworks. In this next room, there's going to be 1 elite wizard and several acolytes. Go ahead and just kill them really quick. Do kind of keep your distance just because all together they can melt you kind of quick. The wizard will melt you pretty quick by itself, so just keep that in mind. Keep your distance, and then once you kill them, go ahead and hack the door. Once the door is hacked, run all the way back to the entrance because there's going to be 2 waves of enemies. The first one is going to consist of a bunch of thralls and 1 more elite wizard. So what you want to do is just stay in that entrance area. That's our safety zone. Kind of just let the thrall come to you. And then once all the thrall are dead, you can either stay in that safety zone or you can go across from the door that we hacked on the opposite end of the pool, and you can actually shoot the wizard and it won't shoot back at you from there. So if you need a better angle, that's a pretty good spot to go to. Once you kill the wizard, there's going to be a second spawn of enemies, and I would suggest going back to that safe zone to take care of this wave, because it is going to be a bunch of acolytes and elite exploder thralls, and then 2 elite boomer knights. So just be very careful of them. Also switch from your solar Manananan to your arc, or if you're using hard light, that's another good one, or Borealis if you're on PlayStation. That's another good option to have for this specific strike, because you will need to switch up stuff pretty regularly. But once you kill the 2 knights, go ahead and run back to the door. And once that door opens, there's going to be 5 or 10, I think, total thralls that will come out. 5 behind each door. There's 2 doors, and one of those is an elite, so just be careful of that. And then once you kill all of them, go ahead to the 3rd door, where behind it will be 2 knights, just regular red bar health, and 1 mini boss ogre. What I like to do, and there's going to be like 5 or 6 thralls that come spawning in. What I like to do is head to the left side. You can go either side, but I prefer the left side personally. And I like to take out the thralls, of course, and then I take out the right side knight. That way I can have a little bit of wiggle room to deal damage to the boss. Once I get the boss down, I like to throw my Nova Bomb at it. That melts it down really quick. And then I just finish it off with Telesto, and then kill the final boss. Or the final knight. I wish I could kill the final boss that fast. But then after that, you get into this room where there's going to be 4 elite acolytes. Go ahead and take all of them down. They will all drop power ammo if everything's working like it should. So feel free to just melt them really quick with your Telesto, and then move on into the next room, which will have 1 elite wizard, which is going to have a void shield. So make sure you have some sort of void weapon, either it's Telesto or whatever you're rocking. And then just go ahead and take care of all of the acolytes that are in there. I try and do my best to save the wizard for very last. If you don't damage it or get too close, she will just sit there, kind of like meditating or whatever they're doing. And so once you kill all of them, go ahead and kill the wizard. It usually takes about 2 Telesto shots. And once you kill the wizard, a shrieker will spawn in, and you'll have to grab the orb. Once you grab that orb, there is going to be a little hive spawn in of 1 elite knight, and I think it's 3 acolytes. Go ahead and take care of all of them. And then once you get them all killed, it should be pretty quick, pretty easy. As long as you kind of stay back a little bit, because that shrieker will be melting you pretty quick. But go ahead and grab the orb again, and then get behind this cover right here. Wait for your health to be full regen. You can wait for the shrieker to stop shooting. It'll take a couple seconds, but it will eventually happen. And then just go ahead and as soon as your health is full, just run straight there and dunk it or slam it, or whatever you want to call it that you're doing. As long as you complete that animation, you don't necessarily have to fully slam it, but as long as you finish that dunk animation, you'll get a checkpoint and you'll be good to go for the next section. So don't worry too awful bad about dying. Just make sure you're full health, just in case maybe you're rocking low resilience or whatever. And then after that, there's going to be in this room, there's going to be, I think there's 3 or 4 acolytes and 1 elite knight. Go ahead and take all of them down. I like to kill the acolytes first, that way I don't have all this kind of stuff shooting me while I'm trying to kill an elite knight. And then once you melt the knight down, go ahead and shoot all the crystals. Once that happens, what I like to do is use my Nova Bomb. Well, I shouldn't use my Nova Bomb, but I do anyways. There's going to be a bunch of enemies in the kind of middle section. I like to take them out first. And then underneath these stairs is a really good spot to take care of the mini boss ogre that's in this room. That way I can just kind of duck between covers to to do damage to the boss. And then once that dude is dead, I like to make sure I take out all the knights. And then once I do that, there's going to be a second spawn of another... well, before we go there, there's going to be, in this first section, there's going to be one mini boss ogre, one elite knight, I think 2 normal knights, and then a bunch of acolytes. Kill all of them. And then in the second spawn, there's going to be one elite ogre, or mini boss ogre, I should say. And then there's going to be 2 knights that'll spawn in after a little bit of damage done to the ogre. And then there's going to be 2 elite wizards, and then a bunch of acolytes. Once you kill the 2 knights, they'll have swords, so they'll kind of charge at you. Go ahead and take them down. The ogre usually kind of runs away and hides, so you should be plenty safe to take care of the 2 wizards. Just make sure you stay back a little ways. That way you have a little bit more safety, you have a little bit more wiggle room to deal with them. But then once you get the 2 wizards down, normally while shooting the wizards and the acolytes at the relatively the same time, you should have most, if not all, of the acolytes killed. And so what I like to do is, with the second ogre, he'll hide kind of around the corner to the left. So if you run kind of like along the stairway, you can get a really nice Nova Bomb on him, and then just kind of finish him off with your Telesto, or whatever power ammo you're using, power weapon I should say. And then you can just melt him real quick, and then just kind of finish off whatever enemies are there. And then before you grab the power bricks, go ahead and switch over to Curtain Call, and then that way between this room and then the next room, you'll have full Curtain Call ammo. So in this next room, there's going to be a total of 4 elite acolytes. Go ahead and kill all of them, and then go ahead and break off all of the crystals. Once you kill all the crystals, in this next room there's going to be a total of 1 elite knight. I think there's 3 normal knights, 2 normal wizards, and a bunch of acolytes. So what I like to do first is focus down the elite knight. That way I don't have to worry about him. He usually kind of hangs out around the left side of the room. And then I just kind of slowly make my way through the room. It does get a little hectic. And then usually you should have your super again by the time you get to the 2 wizards. I like to just place a nice Nova Bomb in the middle of those 2, and then that generally takes care of them. And then there will be a small wave of thrall that will spawn in, so just go ahead and kill all of them, grab the orb, and then once you grab the orb, there's going to be another wave of a handful of cursed thralls, elite cursed thralls I should say, a bunch of thralls, about 4 or 5, maybe 6 acolytes, and 1 elite knight. You go ahead and take care of all of them. If you have to, you can just let the orb despawn, but I like to just hold on to it so I don't have to keep running back and forth. Once you take out the knight, which I like to save for last for whatever reason, once you kill him and you have the orb, in the next room there's going to be again about 5 or 6 acolytes and 1 elite knight. There is a little explosive like canister thing that you can shoot, and it'll take out like right at half of the enemies that are in this room, and then that way you only have to worry about 2 or so acolytes and the elite knight. And then I like to just stand in the doorway and just kind of go back in and out of the room doing damage. Once he's dead and you've got the orb, if you have to go back, go back. In the next room there is going to be 3 total ogres, and then just not a lot of acolytes, but there's maybe 6 or 7 acolytes. Take care of not the wizards, the ogres first. They're all normal red bar health enemies, so they shouldn't give you too much trouble. And then once you do that, make sure you kill every single acolyte. I know there is some that like to hide in the Shrieker room, and if they kill you on your way to the cover, getting to slam the orb, it sucks to have to do that entire section from the crystal room again and again and again. So just make sure everything is dead. What I like to do is jump in the doorway, go back and forth. That'll usually kind of get them to despawn, or not despawn, but move around. And then once they're all dead, make your way to this piece of cover right here, and wait for your health to be completely full. And then once you have full health again, wait for one of the Shriekers to stop shooting. They won't both stop shooting, but once one of them stops shooting, make a mad dash to the slam. And then just like the last one, as long as you finish that animation before you die, it will give you a checkpoint. So like run. And then once you respawn, if you died, I haven't died every time, but I do in this run, you will get spawned into that where you scanned the thing before to open the door. There will be 2 elite wizards. Both of them will have void shields. Go ahead and take them out with your graviton lance, your whatever, your void curtain call. I would suggest having a void curtain call for this specific Nightfall. And so once you do that, the door will open up, or the floor will open up, and you'll be in the cursed thrall room, and then we'll be in the boss fight. Once you're in the boss fight, go ahead and you should have another super. Go ahead and pop your super on the boss. Just make sure you're close enough so you don't miss. Throw a grenade. If you want to switch over to Polaris Lance, that would be great. And then just keep doing damage to the boss until the thrall come in. There's going to be about 8 or so thralls that will spawn in. Once you take care of them, you can keep doing damage to the boss until it teleports to the right side of the room. Once that happens, there is going to be about 4 or 5 or so acolytes. Go ahead and kill all of them. And then you can kind of come into this middle speaker thing that we're sitting on. And you can kind of just shoot in between there, and you should be really safe until the boss will close back up. Once that happens, there's going to be like 8 to 10 acolytes, I think. It might seem like more than there actually is, but it seems like there's like 8 to 10 acolytes, one of which is elite, and 2 knights. Kill every single acolyte first. Do not kill both knights before killing every acolyte, because once you kill the 2 knights, the boss will open up and she'll start shooting at you, and then she's going to teleport into the middle, and then you don't want to worry about all of that while dealing with the boss and dealing with more enemies than you have to. It just gets really annoying really quick. So once you do get that boss to open back up, you've killed the 2 knights and all the acolytes, go ahead and run up behind this little speaker thing on top of the stairs here, and start doing damage to the boss. Once you do enough damage, another wave of thralls are going to come out. Go ahead and just keep doing damage to the boss while dealing with the thralls. If you haven't already switched to Polaris Lance, this would be a great time to do it. Also, it would be a great time to do to use a auto rifle, or antiope, or whatever you've decided to use, just so you don't have to worry about it later. But once you do enough damage, the boss will teleport to the far end of the area. I just keep doing damage to the boss. A small wave of acolytes will spawn in, but you can just keep doing damage to the boss until it closes up. And more acolytes will spawn in, one being an elite as well as 3 ogres. Make sure you kill, just like before, kill all the acolytes first before killing the 3rd ogre. 2 ogres will initially spawn in, and then you'll have a 3rd ogre spawn in once the 1st ogre dies. So then once you kill the final ogre, the boss will open up. Once you get to that last ogre, you want to be back at the stairs if you're not already there. Those stairs are a good place to shoot the ogres, just because the ogres can't shoot you from that far. But once that happens, you're definitely going to want an auto rifle or something. It's just a whole lot easier, because after a little bit, the boss will summon these heat-seeking orbs, similar to the Taken. I think they're the Centurions or the Colossus. One of those, where it's a little void ball that'll follow you around. They do a bunch of damage, so you definitely don't want to get caught by getting hit with all of those. So go ahead and keep doing damage to the boss. Throw your super when it's ready. Just get it out as quickly as possible. And once you do enough damage, you'll also get another wave of thralls. So remember, your healing rift is really your best friend in this last little bit. Between the healing rift and devour, you should be pretty decently safe, but just be careful. Keep an eye on both the orbs and the thralls that are coming at you. And then once you do enough damage, the boss will climb back up and teleport off to the side. If you're looking from the stairs, it'll be the far right. So once you do that, go ahead and make a mad dash back to the entrance of this area, because the boss will start shooting at you like the other Shriekers. And there will be an elite wizard that spawns in. If you're using a void curtain call, it normally kills this wizard in one shot. For whatever reason, it didn't do it this time. But once you kill that wizard, go ahead and make your way up towards the orb. If the boss is shooting at you, you can wait. It will do that little thok sound effect while it's shooting. 7 of those sound effects, and then it will stop. So wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you hear that 7th one, you should just go ahead and just grab it. You can just go ahead and grab it. It's not going to do too much damage if you're fast enough. But if you think you don't want to risk it, you can just wait the 7 rotations or the 7 sound effects to get it done. And then once you grab the orb, rush all the way back to the entrance again. And then because 2 more wizards will spawn in, these are just normal health enemies. So if you're using Graviton Lance or a Void Scout Rifle of some sort, go ahead and take care of the one on the left, and then make your way up to the little middle stage section, but still stay on the lower area like you see here. And then you can just kind of pop and look to the right, just slightly up and to the right. There's going to be the second wizard. Take that one out as well, and then just kind of move around the stage until you get to here. Wait for your health to respawn fully, as well as waiting for the 7 sound effects. This time you actually do want to wait for the sound effects. That way, so it's safe, you can jump all the way up to the and smash the orb. Once you smash the orb, I like to have my empowering rift. So before you move to the final to slam the orb, switch to your empowering rift. I always forget to mention that. But once you do that, go ahead. Once you slam the orb, go ahead, pop your empowering rift. I don't think that actually makes a difference with power weapons, but it might. So you know. Or if you have the lunification boots, I should have thought of that, because that would have actually been really helpful here, instead of having to reload the rocket launcher over and over and over. But once you do that, just go ahead and you can actually hide behind this thing that you slam the orb into and shoot your rockets until you kill the boss. So that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If it did, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Look in the description box down below for the links to the Hunter and Titan guides if you're interested in those. And yeah, until next time, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and have an amazing week.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes up, Guardian.